With a focus on acquisitions and exploration of mineral projects in Africa's top-ranked jurisdictions, I'd like to welcome Christopher Drysdale. You're the CEO of Antler Gold. My good man, welcome.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, and before we start diving into all your various different projects and all that, I think sometimes people don't invest in Africa as much as you, or at least how much they are used to places in North America, Europe, but there's so much of an abundance of minerals and metals in Africa. So if you don't mind, if you can give us a little bit more about why you chose Africa as your focus, but also some of the management team that you have, do they have experience working in Africa as well?
No, exactly. And I think, firstly, the opportunity of Africa and the vast mineral resources are well known. What we've been able to do is put together a technical team that is augmented by a Canadian capital markets team. So we have pedigree on both sides.
Yeah.
And myself, I'm Zimbabwean. Our full technical team is Namibian and from Southern Africa. We, in essence, are operating in our backyard. We've been there. We understand the jurisdiction, and not only from a mining code point of view, but also from a geological and operational point of view. So that allows us to offer our stakeholders an opportunity to invest in Africa where there's vast mineral resources, but invest in a technical team, an operational team that can operate there, and then be backed by a capital markets team that allows us to raise money and do it functionally without doing highly dilutive things that are normally associated with it.
Yeah, that expertise is so well known, so well needed, because a lot of the times people will go into these other regions but don't have that expertise. Maybe they're from Vancouver, Toronto, whatever it be. It makes that much more of a difference when your team is not just like yourself from there, but you've operated there. You understand that.
Yeah, we cut our teeth there as geologists, and we've been involved with projects from concept all the way through to first production.
Yeah.
And that's allowed us to, not only map the jurisdictions, which is from a geological point of view, but also start understanding which jurisdictions are accepting and have quite welcoming mining codes that allow for projects to be developed and eventually start bringing in money.
Yeah, and speaking of projects, let's jump right into that right now. You've got several exciting projects that you're working on, 3 of them being drill ready. Can you dive into those and what investors can expect with Antler Gold?
So Antler Gold currently has a diversified project portfolio. We have 3 drill-ready gold projects that are based in Namibia. We started in 2017 putting the projects together from concept and have brought them all the way through early stage exploration to this drill-ready phase. So our Nkoshi Gold project, which we've now put together, is a 5.5 kilometer open EM target. It's got historical drill intercepts that are quite significant. We've got over 9.53 grams over 11 meters and over 5 grams over 12. And the nice thing about this is it shares significant similarities to B2 Gold's Otjikoto deposit in Namibia. So we like to say that someone's paid for our school fees already. We know how to look for this, how to explore for it, and how to make a discovery. Our second one is our Rongo Gold project, which is contiguous with another TSX listed company, Osino Resources, Twin Hills Discovery, which is over 3 million ounces now. And again, they've paid for the school fees and shown us how to explore in that area. So we don't have to do testing or understanding, and we've developed these 2 quite exciting drill targets that the project is currently being worked on at the moment, and drills will most probably start turning within the next month or 2.
Yeah, fascinating to hear. And another thing that I found really interesting when looking up at your company, yes, you've got these projects, these are very exciting. We've also got something called the Antler Project Generator. Yes. What is this? And I asked this because I do know a little bit when I was reading up on your website, but this is fantastic. What is this, and why is it an integral component to your company?
So we realized we've got a very strong skill set at identifying exploration opportunities and allowing us to put them together, de-risk them, and then attracting third-party JV partners to fund the most, I would call it, riskiest part of exploration, the drilling, and the costliest part of it. So what Antler Gold has been able to do is we've put together 3 gold projects. We have exposure to rare earth elements, which we understand extremely well because we were part of the team that put together the Eureka rare earth deposit, which is now ETEC Resources. And we have multiple applications throughout the more stable jurisdictions of Africa for various minerals. That diversification of commodity, jurisdiction, and also stages of projects allows Antler Gold to create short-term value by JVing out to partners. We're getting optionality in equities and cash payments. And then it gives us exposure to the discovery, the multiples that are driven by the discovery process, because we start holding a significant stake in those projects. And that stops us from doing highly diluted funding. So we've created a pipeline that's attractive to do transactions on, will generate short-term income and allow us to explore our more flagship projects that are of better value to our investors.
Yeah, fantastic here. And that's why I really want to make sure investors heard that, because it's an interesting thing that you put together here, being able to work with others. And like you said, to do these massive drill programs cost a lot of money. There's a lot of risk. To have these JVs and to be able to de-risk that for Antler Gold, I think is very, very fascinating. Now, we've spoken about a lot of these projects. We've spoken about the Antler project generator as well. With these projects and with your company, what can investors be excited about in the coming weeks to month coming from Antler Gold?
So we've got 3 exploration programs that are currently ongoing. We like to say there's boots on the ground. Those projects are getting to have drills turning between the end of the first and beginning of the second quarter of this year. So end of March, we're definitely going to have drills mobilizing to our Orongo site. So there's a lot of exploration news that's going to come out of that. That, coupled with the fact that we have a lot of projects that potentially can be JV'd out, or starting to attract partners who are interested in the battery space and also interested in Africa. We have multiple catalysts potentially lined up over the upcoming months. And we believe also that this is a long-term game, and we're continually building value. So although in the short term we've got some news coming out, we're going to continually be building value through the applications being granted to the company, as well as continually filling up the pipeline of the company's project generator.
Well, Christopher, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. And really quickly, if investors want to find out more about your company, how can they do so?
Please go onto our website. We recently launched our new website, antlergold.com. You can subscribe there, and then I do quarterly updates for our investors every end of the quarter, which summarizes what we've done during the quarter.
Fantastic.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.